Right now, somewhere in the middle of the ocean, there's a cruise ship with over 6,000 passengers laughing, eating lobster, and dancing under the stars. And at least 3 of them won't make it home alive. Not from shipwrecks, not from storms, from things that happen on every single cruise that the industry prays you'll never find out about. What I'm about to share comes from FBI reports, former crew members who broke their silence, CDC investigations, and families who've spent decades fighting for answers. Let's start with something that's probably happening on a ship right now. Number 1. The secret morgue below your feet. Every cruise ship has a morgue. Not optional, required. It's on the lowest deck, a stainless steel refrigerated room most passengers never know exists. Smaller ships hold 2 to 3 bodies. Mega ships, up to 10. Industry insiders say up to 3 people die on cruise ships every single week worldwide. The Broward County Medical Examiner reported 91 deaths from ships arriving at just Fort Lauderdale between 2014 and 2017. The total estimate? Around 200 deaths per year. That's 1 death for every 150,000 guests. And when you die on a cruise ship, the cruise line investigates themselves. They decide what happened. And if they say natural causes, that's usually where the story ends. Number 2. People just vanish. Over 400 people have gone missing from cruise ships in the past 20 years. Not died, not confirmed drowned, vanished. Amy Lynn Bradley disappeared from Royal Caribbean's Rhapsody of the Seas in 1998. She was 23. Her parents last saw her at 5:30 in the morning on a private balcony. By 6, she was gone. The FBI is still offering $25,000 for information. A photograph surfaced online of a woman who looked exactly like Amy, leading to human trafficking theories. That was over 25 years ago. She's never been found. Here's why these cases are so devastating. When you're more than 12 miles from shore, jurisdiction falls to whatever country the ship is registered in, usually Panama, the Bahamas, or Bermuda, countries that don't have the resources to investigate crimes happening thousands of miles away. One maritime law expert said these countries would have to have an enormous police force to handle all the crimes on ships under their flags. Number 3. Sexual assault is the number 1 cruise crime. Sexual assault makes up 55% of all crimes the FBI investigates at sea. In 2023, 131 alleged sex crimes were reported from cruise ships, 79 rapes, 52 sexual assaults, and the numbers are rising every year. But here's the real concern. On land, 60% of sexual assault victims never report. On cruise ships, that percentage is likely even higher. Why? There are no police on cruise ships. Security is hired by the cruise line. One attorney stated bluntly that security teams are more concerned about protecting the company than the general cruising public. Between 2015 and 2025, there were only 13 criminal prosecutions and 7 convictions for sexual abusers on cruise ships. A 2013 report revealed cruise lines reported 29 sexual crimes to the FBI, but only publicly disclosed 11. 10 of those victims were children. Number 4. You're surrounded by surveillance. If you're outside your cabin, assume you're on camera. One crew member said, "It is safe to assume if you are outside of your cabin, you are probably on camera." These ships have CCTV everywhere. Pool decks, dining rooms, hallways, elevators, even those secluded spots couples think are private. Number 5. The secret codes they use around you. Emergencies are happening all around you. You just don't know because of secret codes. Code Oscar means someone went overboard. Code Alpha is a medical emergency. Code Bravo is fire. Code Adam means a child is missing. When someone died in the gym before a cruise departed, the ship delayed for hours while police investigated. Passengers were told the ship was taking on fresh water. Another time, security stopped a passenger from jumping overboard at the last second. No announcement was made. Nobody knew. As one former employee put it, "People don't realize how much training crew members go through. They will never know their waiter just helped save the whole ship." Number 6. The Norovirus Nightmare. 2025 is on track to be the worst year for illness outbreaks on cruise ships in 18 years. The culprit? Mostly norovirus, the stomach bug that causes violent vomiting and diarrhea. Here's why it spreads so easily. Norovirus is resistant to hand sanitizer. Those dispensers everywhere on cruise ships? Essentially useless against this virus. When someone vomits, it becomes airborne. The close quarters mean touching the same railings, elevator buttons, and buffet utensils as thousands of others. In one 2025 outbreak, nearly 100 passengers fell ill on a single Royal Caribbean cruise. And it gets worse. Crew members work while sick because they can't afford to miss shifts. Sometimes the person serving your food is the one who spread the virus. Number 7. They're dumping waste into the ocean. A large cruise ship generates 210,000 gallons of sewage and 1 million gallons of gray water in just 1 week. Where does it go? Much of it goes directly into the ocean. Beyond 3 miles from shore, ships can discharge minimally treated sewage. Beyond 12 miles, raw sewage can be dumped legally. The EPA estimates over 1 billion gallons of sewage gets dumped into the ocean annually by the cruise industry. In 2016, Princess Cruise Lines paid $40 million for dumping oily waste, the largest ever criminal penalty for intentional vessel pollution. Carnival has been fined repeatedly, including $60 million in 2019 for dumping plastic into Bahamian waters. In Georgetown, Grand Cayman, 300 acres of coral reef were destroyed by cruise ship anchors alone. Number 8. The exploitation hidden below deck. Below Deck 4, where passengers never go, crew members live in windowless cabins the size of walk-in closets, shared with 3 other people. They work contracts lasting 8 to 11 months, often without a single day off. Working less than 10 hours is considered an easy day. One crew member described the food as, "Imagine eating at your high school cafeteria, 3 meals a day, 7 days a week, for a year." Crew members regularly lose 10 to 12 pounds per contract. Most workers from developing countries pay hefty fees to recruitment agencies just to get hired, sometimes 3 months' salary. They arrive already in debt. One housekeeper from Myanmar hadn't seen her children in 3 years, working back-to-back contracts to pay for their education. Cruise lines avoid hiring Americans because they're too expensive. They register ships in foreign countries and hire workers who will accept lower wages and worse conditions. Number 9. The ship has a jail. Every cruise ship has an onboard jail called the Brig. It's a small, windowless room on lower decks with a bed and a door that locks from the outside. People end up there for violent behavior, theft, drug possession, and extreme intoxication. Security can hold you until the ship reaches port, but the ship's security team isn't police. They're private security hired by the cruise line. When serious crimes occur, the captain decides whether to continue sailing or make an emergency stop. Many times, the cruise continues while an alleged criminal sits in that small room below decks. Number 10. You can be left at port. If you're late getting back from a shore excursion, the ship will leave without you. Unless you book through the cruise line, they have zero obligation to wait. But that's not all. Cruise lines can disembark passengers for bad behavior. Too drunk, fighting, breaking rules. They'll drop you at whatever port is next, even a foreign country where you don't speak the language. And if you get disembarked, the cruise line often won't help you get home. You could be stuck in Nassau for a month, begging them to release your paycheck. Number 11. Medical emergencies can bankrupt you. The ship's medical center is not a hospital. It's a floating urgent care clinic. Serious conditions require evacuation, and that can cost $50,000 or more. Vincent Wozni had 3 seizures on a Royal Caribbean cruise in 2022. Before they let him onto the rescue boat, they handed him a $2,500 bill. His wife asked, "Are we being held hostage?" Royal Caribbean's terms require passengers to pay all onboard expenses before disembarking, even during medical emergencies. Air evacuations from the Caribbean cost around $20,000. From Alaska or the South Pacific, over $100,000. Most cruise ships don't accept health insurance. You pay up front, then try to get reimbursed later. Medicare doesn't cover services more than 6 hours from a U.S. port. Number 12. The hidden fees that add up. That $800 cruise? It's going to cost you twice that. Gratuities run $15 to $20 per person per day. A family of 4 pays over $400 in tips alone for a week. Wi-Fi? Up to $24 per day. Room service? $8 per order. Medical visit? $150. X-ray? $500. The cruise lines advertise low ticket prices because they know they'll make it up once you're trapped at sea with no alternatives. Number 13. Crew members are watching everything. Your cabin steward knows more about you than you realize. They know when you sleep, when you leave, whether you've been getting along with your spouse, what medications are on your nightstand. They know if you're a good tipper from day one. They share this information with other crew members. Your comment cards directly impact their wages. A bad review mentioning someone by name can devastate their income. Your reputation follows you around the ship. Number 14. Alcohol is everywhere, and it's a problem. The FBI notes that alcohol is a major factor in most cruise ship crimes. Unlimited drink packages, bars everywhere, servers constantly asking if you want another round. Excessive alcohol leads to people falling overboard, getting into fights, and making dangerous decisions. In the George Smith case, the newlywed who vanished on his honeymoon, fellow passengers reported heavy drinking the night he disappeared. Blood was found outside his cabin. The ship's bars kept serving. The cruise continued. Number 15. Investigations happen on the cruise line's terms. When you're victimized on a cruise ship, the cruise line investigates themselves. Their security collects evidence. Their employees are witnesses. Their protocols determine what happens. By the time an FBI agent can board, it might be days later. The crime scene has been cleaned. Witnesses have disembarked. One attorney said the cruise line's goal after any incident is to minimize its risk of facing a lawsuit, not to find the truth, to protect the company. Number 16. The same problems happen again and again. Crew members describe a don't ask, don't tell culture about everything. Married workers with ship wives thousands of miles from their real families. Affairs everyone knows about, but nobody mentions. Injuries that get covered up. Illnesses worked through. Safety concerns ignored. And passengers keep coming back, unaware of what's really happening. Because cruise lines are masters at controlling the narrative. Number 17. The industry fights every safety requirement. When Congress passed the Cruise Vessel Security and Safety Act in 2010, it was because families of victims had fought for years for any accountability. The law requires ships to report certain crimes to the FBI, to have adequate railings, to carry rape kits. Basic safety measures the industry resisted. Safety advocates say what gets reported is still the bare minimum. Cruise lines lobby against stricter regulations and fight environmental rules. A report found that the number of crimes publicly reported was often dramatically lower than what was actually reported to the FBI. Number 18. People keep going overboard. Despite all the cameras and safety measures, people continue to fall from cruise ships. Most happen on the last night of the cruise. Many involve alcohol. Some are suicides. Some are accidents. Some we'll never know. In 2024 and 2025 alone, there have been dozens of overboard incidents. A 77-year-old on New Year's Day 2026. A crew member from Viking. A 20-year-old cruising with his family. A few have been rescued. One survivor lasted more than 18 hours in the water. But most who go overboard are never found. Number 19. The truth they don't want you to know. Here's the reality the cruise industry doesn't want you to understand. These floating cities operate in a legal gray zone where normal rules don't apply. Jurisdiction is murky. Corporations investigate their own failures. Workers are exploited. Environmental laws are skirted. Crimes go unprosecuted. 37 million people will cruise in 2025. Most will have the vacation of their dreams, but some won't. Some will get sick. Some will be assaulted. Some will be financially devastated by medical emergencies. Some will disappear. And the industry will keep sailing. The question isn't whether you should cruise. It's whether you should cruise with your eyes wide open, knowing exactly what risks you're taking and what happens when things go wrong. Because paradise comes with a price, and sometimes that price is much higher than the ticket. If you found this eye-opening, smash that like button and subscribe for more cruise content the industry doesn't want you to see.